Hello. All right, we're getting ready to start week 3 of quarantine and where we should all be. Hopefully you've been listening to my videos. I just did a Facebook public live this last week where I went through more of this whole scheduling thing. But if I were to boil down what everyone generally is struggling with, it's a lack of structure to the day, knowing what they should be doing when, a feeling of just kind of floating and just free falling, I guess is a good way to describe it. And because of that, what I've been trying to drill home, and keep in mind, I've living this lifestyle now more than 5 years. Okay. So I get it. Like there's a lot when I went from being a public school teacher to being a stay-at-home mom, it was earth-shattering for me because I was used to bells dictating when my kids came in the classroom and when they left the classroom. I had bells that told me when the day began and when the day ended. And we kind of, I think, don't realize how very impactful all of that structure is. We derive comfort from structure. Kids thrive on structure. So what I see is all these people are kind of at home now. They're doing various things at home, whether it's educating their kids, whether it's working their job, whether it's looking for a new job, and they just need things to fill their day to feel like it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So by now, hopefully, you've been listening, so you've had a couple weeks of practicing scheduling. And by now, it should be getting a little bit easier. It should be like, okay, first week I was way over, doing my time slots for all of my stuff, and maybe I need to pull back a little bit and have a different view of how much time these activities are actually going to take me. Or maybe you're the other way. You thought, oh yeah, we'll get that done in 30 minutes. And then an hour and a half later, you're like, ooh, yeah, not quite yet. So you might have been an overestimator with time or an underestimator with time. 2 weeks of doing this should give you enough feedback to refine, and third week should be a little bit more honest, should be a little bit more real. Like my family and I, we might need an hour to eat between cooking, sitting down, cleaning up. That might actually take that long. Whereas if it's just me packing a lunch at work, I maybe only needed 20 minutes, right? So it's a big difference between at home with family, at work in a cubicle. So we want to keep all of that in mind. Third week can be really great because this should be a great refine week for you. So now your time slot should be a little bit more realistic. The things that you totally forgot in week 1 should be on there now. The things that you added in week 2, you can see if you gave enough time to. And now in week 3, we're going to chisel it down. It's kind of like imagine a sculpture being created out of marble, right? When you first get the big thing of marble, you're whacking off chunks. Then you start to chisel a little bit more detail. Now you're getting more and more detail. Usually by 4 to 5 weeks, most people have it pretty well etched out. So this week is going to be, let's actually be really aware of, am I living in the time slots I'm budgeting? If I'm not, let me augment it. Is there anything I left out in week 1 or 2 that needs to be included? And then let's let this week, and what you can do is if you're doing it on Google Calendar, you can obviously see your time blocks, and then you can go through as the actual time is happening and adjust it. So say lunch, you had budgeted 45 minutes. That included cleanup, that included eating, that included prep time. But let's say it actually did take you an hour. What I'd like to see you do during this week is actually make that an hour. So next week it's already, and then those actually can be set up as repeated events. So on my calendar, every week I have certain repeated events, usually gym time, which I've now moved a little bit, meal time, things like that. And then ultimately it should start to actually reflect reality this week. I'm excited. We can get through this together. It's really going to take a lot of personal control of time, resources, and focus, but you can totally do this. All right, if you have any questions about scheduling or if you need any more help with this issue, please let me know. Please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and you can also hit the little bell to get notifications when my videos come out. You have a great one. I'll talk to you soon.